How do you go from one generation of parents believing that Islam is the most important thing, first and foremost, we identify as Muslims, to the next generation identifying first and foremost by their skin color? This isn't some small trivial matter. Let's not belittle the implications of following such paths. Bismillah, walhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome all viewers. So yesterday I came across a video that apparently went viral on social media. It appears to be a conversation between a mother and her daughter about identity. Do you identify as a Muslim first or as being black first? And the title of the video is Anti-Black Racism in Muslim Community. So since this is a topic of discussion right now, I wanted us to listen to what's being said in the video, and inshallah I'll share some of my thoughts, and I ask that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make this beneficial.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Are you Muslim first or are you black first? What do you think?
Muslim first and black first?
Yeah. Which one are you?
Wallahi, I'm a Muslim first.
So firstly, I want to state the obvious, but I think it's important to point these things out. The mother obviously has a very strong accent. I think it's safe to say that she was born and raised in another country, whereas her daughter, it seems like she was born and raised in America. And although there are so many different directions we can take this video, so many different things we can focus on and discuss, I personally really want to focus on this aspect, the difference between the mother and the daughter. Because when the mother is asked, are you Muslim first or are you black first? It's as if the mother finds it amusing. Like, what kind of question is that? Of course, wallahi, I swear by Allah, I'm Muslim first. It's almost as if this is a nonsensical question. I mean, how can you compare skin color to being a Muslim? But let's see how the daughter responds.
Okay, can I see your hand?
Yeah,
Give me your hand. What color is this?
black.
So why are you not black first? Did you choose to be black?
No,
Did you choose to be Muslim? Yes.
I'm born for Muslim.
No, you can leave the deen at any time, but you can't leave your race at any time.
So obviously the daughter is trying to prove a point to her mother. And it's important for all of us to keep in mind that the daughter got this information somewhere, right? These are things, concepts, ideas that she was taught, that she learned. One might even say that she was indoctrinated with due to social media, due to many things that have been going on in this country with identity politics. And she seems very confident in her stance. It's almost as if she feels like she understands something that her mother doesn't. Whereas I would say that it's the other way around. It's not that the mother is confused because this concept of being black and identifying as being black over being a Muslim is something that's so complicated and needs to be explained. But to me, it seems more like the mother is confused at, like, why would you make such a comparison? Like, what's going on with my daughter to think that identifying as a skin color is more significant or more important than identifying as a Muslim, by identifying as one that submits to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is upon proper guidance, who is on the straight path. So what does the daughter do to try to prove her point? She says, can I see your hand? What color is this? The mother says black. And the daughter asks, so why are you not black first? And the mother just looks at her, not because like this is too complicated above her head, it's because this doesn't make sense. How does this prove that I should identify with being black over being a Muslim? This is comparing something that's literally skin deep, that's superficial. It's comparing a skin color with the deepest, most important, significant aspect of a human being. It's like, what kind of comparison is this? Then the daughter asks, did you choose to be black? The mother says no. Then the daughter asks, did you choose to be Muslim? And before the mother can even respond, the daughter says yes. And the mother tries to respond. I'm not sure if she's speaking English or if she's speaking another language, but it sounds like she's saying, I was born Muslim. So just like she was born black, she was also born Muslim. Which is true, everyone is born upon the fitrah in a state of Islam. And I believe the mother, she was born into a Muslim family, so they raised her upon the fitrah to remain Muslim. But regardless, the point that the daughter is trying to make isn't being proven by any of the arguments that she's making. She says that you can leave Islam at any time, but you can't leave your race at any time. Well, that's not technically true. For example, let's say that this mother actually does want to leave her race. She says, I'm not going to identify as black anymore. I am going to identify as white. Can she do that? Sure, why not? One could argue, but she's not white. She's black. Therefore, she is misguided. Well, the same thing could be said about somebody who leaves Islam. They're also misguided. Actually, they're far more misguided. They're much further from the truth. Dare I say, they are far more delusional. And if you think this is a false comparison, well, in a sense it is because, as I said, leaving Islam is far worse. Rejecting your Lord and the guidance he sent is far more astray than somebody who's wrong about the color of their skin. But both scenarios have a lot of unsaid implications. So for example, when somebody says that they're black, this mother and her daughter, their skin isn't literally black. Clearly, their skin is brown. Also, black people are not a monolith. Black people come in all sorts of different shades of color. They speak different languages. They have different cultures. I mean, just on Twitter alone, the reaction to this video had people of certain cultures who would be considered black arguing over whether or not she was from their tribe, whether or not she was from their country. So technically speaking, somebody could leave this idea of being from the black race and actually be moving towards something more correct, something more specific and relevant to their actual history and ethnicity. But the point here is not just to refute this daughter, but she's been fed these ideas. She's living in a society that has influenced her and convinced her that, first and foremost, she is black. She thinks that she didn't choose that, she can't help that, there's nothing she can do. It's just the fact she is black. But that's not the only thing she's been taught to believe. Let's see what else she says.
Plus, these non-black Muslim people don't like you. Let's remember that first. Look at the skin. They don't like you.
She says these non-black Muslim people don't like you. Subhanallah. In an attempt to fight racism, she says something incredibly racist. That non-black Muslims don't care about black Muslims. Now, I'm not saying that racism doesn't exist at all within the Muslim community. Obviously it does. But you can't fight racism with more racism. This is why it's so important for parents to understand what's going on, what their children are being exposed to, what kids nowadays are being indoctrinated with. There is an ideological war being fought. Islam is the straight path, and there are all types of philosophies and ideologies and beliefs that people are using to try and pull your children away from the straight path as much as they possibly can. Many parents, unfortunately, seem completely oblivious to this reality. How do you go from one generation of parents believing that Islam is the most important thing, first and foremost we identify as Muslims, to the next generation identifying first and foremost by their skin color? This isn't some small trivial matter. Let's not belittle the implications of following such paths. You know, I want to say something as a convert, because as somebody who embraced Islam, I come from a whole background, a whole history of non-Muslims. Non-Muslim family, non-Muslim friends, non-Muslim community. And as I get older, people die. People from my family die. People I grew up with, friends, die. Also, having been Muslim for the past 13 years, I have Muslim friends who die. Muslim friends who have family members who die. And whenever a Muslim tells me that their Muslim family member died, just to be completely honest, and I hope this doesn't come across as harsh or cold, I do understand that when you lose somebody, that it hurts, it can be painful and depressing and sad. So I offer my condolences, I make dua for them. But at the end of the day, all that matters is dying upon Islam. Allah tells us, "O you who believe, fear Allah as he should be feared and do not die except as Muslims." So when I hear about a Muslim dying, yes, I understand that there is some pain and sadness that goes along with that. But foundationally, I'm just like, Alhamdulillah. To Allah we belong and to Allah we return. And if they died upon Islam, inshallah, they're going to go to Jannah. Inshallah, they were successful. They won. They did it. They died in the state of Islam. Because many of us, we have family, people that we grew up with, that we love, and they die in a state other than Islam. They die as non-Muslims. And when you're facing death, you are faced with the topic of the eternal hereafter. All this other stuff, your skin color, how much social justice activism you were involved with, how happy of a life you lived, none of it matters if you didn't die in a state of Islam. So for anybody to belittle in any way, shape, or form being Muslim, being guided, having Islam, wallahi, it is just a sign of ignorance. It is a sign of not truly understanding who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, who we are as human beings, the situation that we are in, the reality of the hereafter. the blessing of being guided to the truth. And it's hard for me to think of a tragedy worse than Muslims going astray. And trying to keep our children and our communities on the straight path should not only be a priority, but it's a responsibility. So please let us wake up and appreciate Islam and realize that there are ideological wars being waged against us. And although the specific details of that war might vary throughout history, the reality is this has been the situation of the human being throughout time. This is part of our test. Will we stay on the straight path, or will we be led astray? And some of us don't realize that where our children spend their time, all of the stuff that they consume into their minds every day, is leading them astray.
Yes, they will try to support you because you're Muslim, but when it comes to racial issues, they will not stand up for you. That's why you have to put your black people first. Always.
Listen.
Because at the end of the day, you black
maya
first.
kuweyshinka ima dhihin aniga waxay tiraahdaa muslim maa tahay mise balaagaa tahay.
Yes.
Laakiin markay dhahdo yaa u horumarinaya dadka,
I'm
that's another question why.
Yeah, I'm always put my black people first. I'm sorry, Muslim community.
Maya.
I'm sorry, Muslim community, but my black people come first, and that's
No,
a fact.
maya
I'm
kuweyshinka
sorry.
weydiisaa waxay tahay.
Yeah.
Waxay tiraahdaa muslim maa first tahay mise balaagaa first tahay dhahdo.
Yeah, I asked you.
Ay dhahdo ma ogido.
Yeah. When people ask me, what are you? I don't answer Muslim first. I say, yeah, I'm black. And I don't like when because you know why I'm asking you this question? Yeah. Because there was this time where there was a protest. I forgot what protest it was for, but I posted on my Snapchat, and me and this Indian guy, I don't remember what part of India he was from. He might be Indian or he might be Pakistani. I don't know. I forgot, to be honest. But I posted the protest and we were arguing about it. And he was more focused on the destruction of property than the person who lost their life. He was like, oh, why are these people protesting? You guys are going to ruin our city. Da, da, da. And I was like, you know what? Buildings and companies could be rebuilt, but this person will never get their life back. So stop focusing on the wrong issue, right? And then this man continued to argue with me and be like, you're so focused on black issues. You're Muslim first. Have faith in Allah first. And I said, no, I'm black first. I'm not Muslim first. And I said, and I blocked him. I blocked him. So they made me mad.
Listen.
And I don't like when people, let me finish. I don't like when people ask me those questions because I'm always say I'm black first. And whenever anybody asks me what I am, I'm going to say black first. Yes, I'm Muslim, but look at the color of my skin. I'm black and I'm proud. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so the video cuts off here. Obviously, the mother seems to be kind of shocked and in complete disagreement with her daughter. But just to wrap things up, this anecdotal example that the daughter gave regarding why she thinks this way isn't what really led her to adopt these beliefs. But rather, she's just repeating talking points that have been pushed and promoted by all types of external forces. One disagreement that she had over Snapchat with somebody who's Indian or maybe Pakistani, she can't remember, is not going to lead her to all these conclusions. She's obviously just repeating talking points that have been spread across social media. Nothing that she's saying is new or even rare. The only thing that makes this video somewhat unique is the fact that she's a Muslim and she's with her Muslim mother, and she is preferring such rhetoric to Islam. And that's what makes this video so sad and disturbing. Allah knows best. May Allah keep us firm upon His deen. May He give us a good end. May He protect us and our children from ever going astray. May Allah make us love and appreciate His religion. May Allah make us of those who are grateful and appreciate His guidance. Jazakumullahu khairan wa salamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.